I got revenge on my ex girlfriend for cheating on me. This happened years ago when I was around 18 and dating a girl I had gone to high school with. We had been together for about a year, and towards the last month of our relationship, things started to die out. We wouldn't talk as much, and she never had time for me. She claimed she was always working at her family's grocery store. Her family had their own business for years. It was a small grocery store that at one point, while I was in between jobs, I even worked at for a short time. Her family were lovely, and me and her father got along great and still chat every now and then because I was always working or studying. Didn't party and had set goals for myself early in my life, which her father thought was awesome. So, anyway, back to our relationship. Because we both worked, we only had the weekends free, so usually we would do our best to spend time with each other. But she had grown distant, and I hadn't thought anything of it. But one weekend, I received a call from a friend of mine who tells me she had seen my girlfriend out with another guy. I didn't want to believe it. I was devastated. But I thought before I throw any actions or accusations, I would get my own proof first. It took me almost 3 weeks to convince her to spend time with me. When she agreed and came over for a night after work, I planned on confronting her to find out for myself. She arrived shortly after dark and told me she was going to have a shower. She went into the bathroom but had left her phone with her bag and keys on the table. So I did what anyone who has been told they were being cheated on would do. I went through to see for myself. And what do you know? She was cheating on me with her ex boyfriend, who was a dirtbag. You see, he was one of the kids at school that messed around, never came to school, was out smoking and drinking instead. I never really interacted with him outside of being asked for a lighter for a cigarette. But he was also selling drugs at school. I've always thought people who sell drugs to kids are dirtbags. Not cool at all, bro. I found out she had been going to see him on the weekends to drugs and drink as well as sleeping with him. There were messages talking about how I was too nice or focused on her work too much. How she's only with me because her family loves me and I can handle that if you tell me that. Not cheat on me because of it. I would rather leave the relationship freely. This hit me really hard and messed with my perception of women afterwards. I had never been cheated on before and didn't know how to handle the feeling. But I wasn't going to tell her, do me like that. Here comes the sweet revenge. You see in those messages they have been talking about needing money for alcohol or drugs and not having enough. This conversation led to him to convince her to steal it from her family business. She had been getting away with almost $800 or so every weekend, as well as stealing items from their shop. So I thought fast, screenshot all the messages, and sent them to her father from her phone. I told him it was me and that this is what I had found in his daughter's phone. Shortly after she had finished up in the shower, I told her we were finished and I knew everything. I told her to leave, and I had a surprise for her when she got home, to which she was confused about. She left after that, and I received a call from her dad, who was apologized to me for his daughter's actions and sounded almost as devastated as I was. He told me He had already called the police and they were waiting for her to get back home, as well as collecting her ex-boyfriend as an accomplice. I was shocked but thankful that I had got dead weight from my life and just fashion considering she cheated on me. She got to spend the night in the cell with her ex and was ordered to pay back the amount by a judge and given community service. He, on the other hand, had happened to have previous warrants out and I don't know what happened to him after. I wiped my hands clean of her and moved forward. But man, that felt so much better than she at least got some punishment as a result.
You fool. You absolute buffoon. You think you can challenge me in my own realm. You think you can rebel against my authority. You dare come into my house and upturn my dining chairs, spill coffee grounds on my table, and say yeet. You thought you were safe in your chainmail armor behind that screen of yours, but I will take these laminate wood floorboards and destroy you. I didn't want war. But I didn't start it. Yeet bombs away. You fool. You absolute buffoon. You think you can challenge me in my own realm. You think you can rebel against my authority. You dare come into my house and upturn my dining chairs, spill coffee grounds on my table, and say yeet. You thought you were safe in your chainmail armor behind that screen of yours, but I will take these laminate wood floorboards and destroy you. I didn't want war. But I didn't start it. Yeet bombs away. She was completely deceiving him and stealing thousands of dollars for her and her criminal boyfriend to do drugs and get alcohol. She chose him over her family's well-being. That's utter betrayal, and the only way to set that straight is to let them have it, otherwise they know they will get away with it. She didn't just take money from the business for a purse or something, she was literally actively stealing money for her loser boyfriend for drugs and alcohol. Call it whatever you want, mate. It was a long time ago, I can't say I care about it much anymore, although I still talk with her father every now and again. We are very similar, maybe that's why it didn't work with his daughter.